So welcome all. Uh, Good afternoon all. Welcome to the webinar on the fall of study abroad dream in times of COVID-19, deferred or dropped. My name is Amarjot Singh and I handle the study abroad program at Collegedunia. I extend a very warm welcome to all our panelists and the students who have joined us. Needless to say that we are going through a very unfamiliar time globally, and lives have been affected in every possible way that we can think. The health crisis has made a big impact on the education system too. It affecting from the temporary suspension of exams, the admissions at the universities, the international travel, everything has got affected. All of this has surely made the study abroad aspirants very confused about the next steps and how exactly they need to address this current situation. This has led to a lot of complexities in the global education system. Universities and colleges across the world have taken steps to stand tall against the pandemic and are trying to keep the dreams, the study abroad dreams of the students alive. Uh, in this webinar, we shall try and answer all these questions that are there in the mind of the and study abroad aspirant who actually wants to go and study in the UK. So we are conducting the session today with our panel of experts, and I would like to introduce them now. So we have with us Devesh Anand. He is the country advisor for India, and he is representing University of Bristol, UK. He is as a country advisor. So I think Devesh, if you want to introduce yourself, I think we can go ahead.
Sure. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for this session. I'm Devesh, and I represent the University of Bristol. Now, the University of Bristol is a very, very strong university. We are currently ranked as number 49 in the world, so it's a world top 50 university. And within the UK, it's always in the top 10. With regards to the location as well, the city of Bristol itself is a very strong city in terms of industry integration. So students coming here have the best access to industry as well as to the academics that are on board with us. Now, I do understand that you have a lot of concerns about traveling this year because of the COVID situation, and we are monitoring it there as well at the university. Currently, we are expecting our session to proceed as per normal in September, because the good thing about UK is that the session doesn't start as late as until end of September and early October. So we still have approximately about 6 months to go. So we're expecting everything to proceed as per normal. But the well-being of our students is paramount to us because you're coming there to study with us. So we are currently monitoring the situation, and contingency plans are in place. So in case we feel everything does not go as per normal and things do change by June or July, we will keep you further informed about all the other aspects that develop. So that's a brief introduction about me, and I'll hand it back over to Amarjot.
Thanks, Devesh. So the next panelist is we have with us Mr. Braj Bhushan Shah, and he is basically the regional head for the whole of South Asia, and he represents University of Wolverhampton, UK. So Braj, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Amarjot, and thank you, my fellow members here. Those who are all the listeners, thank you so much for joining this session today. And my name is Braj. I represent the University of Wolverhampton. And in this current situation, what would I say that, nothing is certain these days. So we all are also revising our advisories every day. We are getting advisories from different governments, at different states and different cities in the United Kingdom. We have our own university center, which is also generating, almost every day a new advisory, so which we are trying to implicate and, spread amongst the students so that they would be at a right place to understand everything in the entire situation. And with regard to COVID-19 situation and the September intake, again, it's an uncertain thing, but yes, we are trying our best to run our September intake. In fact, we have the backup plan to run our intake little later towards October end. And I believe and I assume that, till that the situation will be in control. And on the university ground and at the university level, we are taking care of all each and single international students there. In fact, we have a very big Sikh community at Wolverhampton. So they are feeding students free of cost to all the international students and nearby places as well. And our Pro-Vice Chancellor, Mr. Tim Steely, he is the Asia Chair of UUKI, which is the leader of 132 universities in the entire UK. So we are aware of the situation and we are looking into it. So, and I hope that everything will be get settled soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Braj. So next we have with us Ms. Mahima Kapoor, and she is the Senior Recruitment Advisor for the University of York. And Mahima, over to you.
Thank you, Amajo. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. I am Mahima Kapoor. I represent University of York. University of York is one of the prestigious Russell Group University. We are among the top 150 universities in the world, and our humanities and social sciences department are among the top 100 in the world. So they're definitely, like my colleague Devesh said, we are, as you know, like other universities are planning to start again in September end. That's the plan as of now. We are, of course, monitoring the situation. We do understand that this is a very difficult time in students who are planning to study abroad. Maybe, you know, think there are a lot of questions coming to your mind, like how do you really plan for your coming intake, and how do you really process with visa? What will be the scenario by September? We completely understand about those questions, and we are definitely looking into the matter. The plan is that we will be starting in September end. The physical campus, hopefully. Of course, health and safety comes first. So we will be monitoring the situation and we will be deciding accordingly. If needed, we may start another intake probably in January, but then that completely depends. That has not been decided yet. But international students are very, very important. They are, 24% of our community on campus are of international students. We have students from 170 different countries, and they add a lot of value to our campus and the education and the experience that for home students as well as other international students. Indian students are definitely also among the students who are looked as very well employable students. You know, Indians are considered to be very hardworking, intelligent, tech savvy, and of course multilingual. So this is something Indian students are very, very of utmost important for the university. So universities are looking into plans how we can make sure that the classes run smoothly. Hopefully by September things will be in control, but like they say, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So they are also prepared if needed. You know, online classes may be started for September, and then January we will have a full-fledged intake where students can come on campus and start with we can start with a physical campus. So that's what we are looking into. And that's a brief introduction about the university and the plans that we have. Now I'll hand it over to Abhijot.
Hey, thanks, Mahima. So we have Anjana Singh with us as well, and she again is the Senior Recruitment Advisor, and she represents University of Exeter, UK. So Anjana, brief introduction about yourself, please.
Thank you, Amajot. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Anjana, and I represent University of Exeter. I would like to begin that, at this point in time, our main motto is respect, kindness, and compassion for all during this uncertain time. And said and done, health and safety for our student and staff is of, utmost importance. At the university, we are top 150 in the world. We are top 10 in the UK, according to Guardian Ranking 2020 this year. We have got a range of subjects that we offer. Considering this time, as I have said, we have introduced, and I think UK globally, I think education is seen as an asset, and I think India office at Exeter, we are working kind of round the clock just to make sure that we provide adequate support and guidance to our current offer holder and prospective students. Also in the university, as you may be aware, that university campuses are all shut, but we have moved to online learning. We have introduced a lot of health and mental well-being support for our students. This year, 95 of our current, BMBS medicine students, they decided to graduate 3 months early so that they can support our NHS colleague during this tough time. So, as a university, we certainly understand, and as you all probably agree, that this is a developing situation. So, whatever is happening in India, as you are not able to give your exams, or IELTS centers are closed, we are constantly feedback this to the university, and admissions departments are very well aware about the situation here. I would like to, end this by saying that, just feel free to get in touch with us if you have any questions, so that we can support you with the same. So thank you very much. Over to you, Amajot.
So thank you all panelists to join us today. So basically we have received hundreds of questions from students across India, and which we categorize in different sets, mainly concerned with, like, the questions were mainly concerned with safety, the financial issues, the application and the travel process. So what like we will be doing is, during the webinar, we'll be addressing those questions that have been raised by the audience. And once again, all viewers, you can again raise the questions right away, right now as well, in real time. Just click on the Q&A section and just type in your question, and we'll be taking those questions in the end of the discussion. So just to start with, as we have all our panelists from UK today, and UK is also has been a very deeply affected by the outbreak, with more than 2 lakh cases, active cases as of now. So I would like to start, like, what exactly do you think is the plan ahead? How exactly are we going to address this situation? So first of all, the students, they've raised the issues, like the students who are still in the application process, they raised some issues with us. The issues were like, how exactly are the application deadlines being set? Are they being extended? Are the application processes being made versatile, so that they can so that all the students who have still not got the opportunity to apply, they can still apply for the intakes? How exactly are the LORs how exactly the LOR should be arranged, given the current lockdown periods? They are not able to travel, they are not able to communicate with their teachers, with their fellow peers, and they are not able to arrange those. And how exactly are the entry criteria, basically the eligibility criteria for the universities, being adjusted, given the situation like this? The test centers for most of the study abroad exams, the English proficiency exams, have been closed down. So how exactly have the eligibility criteria being changed? So over to you, Devesh. So how exactly is University of Bristol addressing these scenarios?
So quite a few things that are being done, because we do understand that these are situations beyond the students' control. That's why the university is being very flexible in this matter. Few things that they've done is that with regards to, for example, English, the language test centers are closed. So for this intake, we started accepting options such as Duolingo as well, wherein students can sit at home, give the test, get the score, and that can be counted as sufficient. We also do have some English waivers in place. So students who've done CBSE or ISC in 12th and got 80% and over, they can qualify for an IELTS waiver as well. Similarly, in terms of test examinations, for example, for our undergraduate law program, we do need the LNAT test. But for this year, we've given a waiver for that because, again, the test centers are closed. Again, in terms of deposit as well, we've seen that students are not able to go out to the banks, arrange funds, and pay the deposits. So we've given an extension of deposit deadlines to the 30th of June. So a lot of flexibility is being applied for the students. Anyone who has a concern, I would recommend that they do get in touch with the university, find out more details about their application, and wherever possible, we will expect or extend any flexibility that we can. Even for the undergraduates, we are seeing that in the UK, the A-level exams are cancelled. So those students will not be taking the exams this year. Similar cases in India for the IB board as well. So we are working out a policy on how do we accept those students. And the same will apply to our international students as well. So those students who have a delay in their CBS exams or even in their college exams, we will give them good extensions for them to still make it on time. In terms of the COVID preparedness, one thing that we're doing is that we are working very closely with Cambridge. And most recently, there's a vaccination test that has been done on human trials as well. And we are waiting for the results to come out. And once that does come out, it will be going ahead and going in for mass production as well. So we have a hospital within the campus, and the NHS faculty are currently working on that. And we're working very closely with Cambridge to do human testing trials.
So, Bridge, the same question to you. How have been the application system and the deadlines been modified? Like, are they just being extended, or basically have you deferred the whole intake for the next one? So, and what about the applications which are still, like, you might have received many applications for which the offer letter has still not been released. So how exactly are you going after those applications?
Thank you, Amarjot. And this is a very good question. I was expecting this to be the first question here in this session. So yes, almost all the universities in the United Kingdom, they have extended their deadline. We have moved little forward in everything. So may that be the application deadline, may that be with regard to the English proficiency test, because we understand that, students cannot go outside, give the test. So some universities have started accepting Duolingo. Some universities have started accepting IELTS indicator, like University of Wolverhampton is taking IELTS indicator. Students can sit at home, they can give this examination, they can book it online. They don't have to go anywhere outside, they don't have to risk their life and give the examination, apply. With regard to other documents, yes, I can tell you that University of Wolverhampton is not taking nowadays letter of recommendation. So students do not need to go out, wait for reference letters to come from the local colleges. So this is not required, and we are not putting that as a condition. With regard to applications, most of the viewers would definitely be knowing, and I was surprised to see that during lockdown as well, we are getting humongous amount of applications. In fact, so far we have received somewhere around 7,000 plus applications for different UG and PG programs at University of Wolverhampton. I'm sure the same would be the condition with other all universities too. So that it shows that students are prospective. As we are unsure, they are also unsure. But the key thing here is to keep patience with everything. Don't risk your life right now, and go slow with the process. And the students, those who are existing students with us, like in India, we know that universities, colleges are not running. So it's been 1.5 months. Students lost the touch with the studies. They're not studying at home. I know that. I've been a student in India. So, but in our university, in fact, other universities as well, we are running online classes at university, so that existing students are not being hampered. With regard to online classes for prospective students, this might be an option, but we have not come up with that yet, as we assume that situation will get in control, and we will be running online on-campus classes, because Indian students, mostly international students, they are not used to online classes. But we have made it very interactive. But yes, we are looking into the situation, and tuition fee deadline, deposit deadlines, everything is extended. So students, those who are a little bit unsure about anything, they are coming in touch with our international cell there that is online working. For COVID, we have a different control room at University of Wolverhampton. Our SSW student union is working on this. We are in touch with each student. So students, when they apply, somebody from our university, they give a call that, are you stuck anywhere? Can we help you? And in fact, we are also, expanding our team in India so that we can help students more who are being prospective to University of Wolverhampton.
Thank you, sir. Braj, so just continuing to what you said, like as for the English proficiency exams, universities have now started accepting Duolingo tests and other online exams. But basically, what we have seen as a scenario, like as per the questions, students are still somewhat skeptical for taking on these exams. They just think like, will my application be considered with the same basically with the same numbers, with this in the same as it would have been done when they would have taken the normal IELTS exam or the TOEFL exam. So like, are you accepting, like, is there any difference when the student applies with a Duolingo score, or is there an basically a small bit difference when they apply with the IELTS score or with the Duolingo score?
So yes, I know that there are more than 2 lakhs applicants right now, those who are applying to different universities in UK. And right information cannot reach to each and every student till the time they are not digging it. So what would I suggest to all the viewers? If you are unsure about anything, go to the website of Duolingo, check which all universities are accepting that. Go to the website of IELTS indicator, check which all universities are accepting that. And if they are looking for University of Wolverhampton, cross check it. Go and check at University of Wolverhampton website and check whether they are accepting IELTS indicator. If both the tick marks are yes, you are good to go. If they are not, then you ask us. So that's the best way to go ahead. Check and check. Other thing I would say that IELTS indicator requirements, FAQs, etc. are there. Read those. So the requirements which were there for IELTS is the same for IELTS indicator, and equivalent for all other examination as well. Like David said, Duolingo, there are some TOEFL home-based tests as well. So there are tests, and eligibility, everything is mentioned on each and every university which are accepting those tests. So don't be, confused about it. I would suggest students, check on our university website, check on different platforms to get sure about it. I think that helps.
Yeah, thanks, Viraj. So we have the results for the first poll question. So the question was, how has the current situation impacted your study abroad plans? So as you might all be seeing on your screens, like the most of the students, they are just saying that we are just waiting and seeing, like just want to see how the situation actually evolves. So like still the students who I have conducted interviews with, who I have come across, they still have not just cancelled their plan. They are still waiting. But yeah, again, this is what the audience is. So next question over to you, Mahima. So what exactly so like we received some questions from the students, like should they expect and delay in the offer letters, like the students who have already applied and they did not receive the offer letters, and still they have not received any communication, just like the generic communications from the university sides were there, that due to this there might be a delay or something. But should they expect more delays in these in the offer letters when should they wait for it, or should they start making up more other plans?
See, mostly universities are right now working remotely, especially admissions team is working remotely right now. So, and they're dealing with high volume of applications. Like Bhushan said, they are themselves are, for a particular sector, they have 7,000 applications. And same is the case with all universities. Like at York, we have so many applications. The number has gone 200% up. So definitely they're dealing with high volume of application, plus they're working remotely. So there could be a possibility that there could be some delay. But mostly universities are trying their best. So Russell Group universities mostly take about 4 to 6 weeks time, if I'm correct, and mostly other universities are trying their best to give their offers as early as possible. But if there are any delays, they can always get in touch with the India representative. Most of us have our offices here, and they can always approach us to kind of, we'll be happy to kind of get follow up with the university's admission office and get their offers as early as possible. And I also want to add here, if there's students who are waiting to apply and want to see, wait for the situation how it evolves and then apply, I would suggest them, please go ahead and apply. See, mostly UK universities will not have an application fee, so there is no there's nothing that you have to lose when you're applying. So it's a good idea to apply. Universities have right now extended the deadlines, not just the applications deadlines, even the scholarship deadlines have been extended. Like at York, which was supposed to close at 30th of April, we have extended it till 30th of May. So please go ahead and at least get an offer from the university, so that make sure that you apply for the scholarship, get an offer, and at least you are ready from your end. And as the situation evolves, and hopefully it gets better, so that you are ready when when universities are ready to kind of open the international borders, you're ready to apply with your visas. Because if you're going to wait till situation to get better and then apply, there's a possibility by that time applications may close, and then you may have to defer your plan for the next intake, and you may miss on this opportunity. So it's a good idea to kind of supply as early as possible. And a lot of universities, like my colleague said, they have extended their deadline for deposits. Similarly, mostly universities have extended the deadline. Like at York, we don't ask for deposits at all. So it's absolutely fine as long as you have your offer, you meet all the conditions, you have an unconditional offer. You can, once the situation gets better, please apply for CAS and we can start with the visa process. So you are under no obligation, financial obligation or any other kind of obligation. Even if you apply and you accept the offer, if you decide to defer or not go ahead with it, you still reserve the right to stay in the room. So please don't wait for the application, for the situation to get better and then apply. At least have any offers in place. And people who have applied, if you haven't heard from the university for some time, please get in touch with the India representatives, and we'll be happy to kind of follow up with admissions and get your offers as early as possible.
So Mahima, just a question in the just as a continuation question. So basically, the students who have already applied, say for September intake, and the university somehow comes up with a plan to defer the whole intake for the other one, it might be a possibility, right? So will their applications will be directly considered for the next intake, or will they have to apply the whole thing again? How will that work?
See, mostly universities in UK give you deferral for 1 year. So even in a normal circumstances, we would allow students to defer if they're holding an offer for this intake, and they can get a defer offer for the next intake. So this is definitely something which universities have always been flexible about, and this is any which ways a special scenario. So definitely, if they hold an offer and if for some reason if they decide to defer, or universities decide to defer, they can always, the same offer can be deferred to the next intake. This is a flexibility offered by the UK universities.
So thanks, Mahima. So Anjana, so the next question is for you. So basically, the students who have already received the offer letters, but somehow they were not able to come to campus. Either like the cases might be like this, that they might have their study permit in their hand, or they still were in the process to get their study permit. So what will happen in those cases? Will their intakes, will their classes be deferred? Will they be cancelled, or will the universities be asked, trying to get the online system in place to get the classes started online?
I mean, honestly, at Exeter, we are currently looking at, autumn intake as normal, like full-time on campus. We don't have, kind of any guideline from the university as of now to start with the online classes, if visa implications and all of that. But honestly, as Braj has said already, that we have our backup plan ready. I mean, I can only say that we need to monitor the situation, and university will issue a guideline for all our offer holders, visa holders, that how we can proceed ahead with September intake. But something that I can always highlight, that we will be flexible in our approach, even if we are starting, because anyways UK university starts in third week, most of the university starts in third week of September. So certainly if the situation like this arises, we will be flexible on a case-to-case basis, and we will allow them an extension, maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on the situation. So, I mean, I can say to all the students that just be in touch, and keep us updated about the situation you are facing, because situation may differ from different cities across India as well. Because if you see, Maharashtra is very, very much affected, but few states are kind of recovering. So just keep us informed so that we can feed back that to the admissions as well.
So thanks, Mahima. So Devesh, the next question is for you. So let's say the universities, they actually, so again, okay, one more poll is up for all the students who are the viewers to answer. So it's basically, if the universities are offering only online classes, what will be the impact on the study abroad plan? So we'll come to this once the polls have ended. So again, Devesh, so the next question is for you. If the online classes are actually thought of as a measure to address this situation, how exactly will it impact a student? As in, like, how will the main agenda of studying abroad, that is the international exposure, that will be handled, and how will the post-study work visa durations be affected?
So at the moment, we are looking into all of this, because even when the COVID situation happened, it happened in March. And that is the time when our current students of the current intake were still there. So most of them moved on to the online training, wherein we had to teach them from their own accommodations. We are looking for the scenario, like Anjana mentioned, we are expecting it to start as per normal in September. But just in case the situation continues and we go in for a scenario, we may have to offer an online session for the first 3 months, or possibly move the intake onto January. In that case, all of this will be shared with the students, and they will be given all the options as well, whether they want to attend the online classes, or they want to defer to a next intake, or they want to take a refund of the deposit as well. So we will keep the interest of the students well in hand. So they will have all the options. For those who decide to move on with the online training, in that case, they will, if they want, they can travel to the UK and stay in the accommodations and take the classes from there, or they can even stay back in India and take their sessions from here, wherein they'll have access to all the faculty and all the software that we enable them to. So they'll have all the world-class, technology at their disposal to benefit from.
So how exactly will these online classes work? Like, let's say that some of the students do plan to travel to the UK, and then they opt for the online classes. Now, again,
Yes.
there will be students from different time zones, right? Some of them
Yes.
will be from India, from China, other like different countries. So how exactly will the online classes work in this scenario? Like, will these be live classes that are being delivered by the faculty from the university, or will these be some recorded sessions only? So how exactly will that work?
So presently, what we're doing it for the session of already that is going on, we're doing 2 classes each day. So we'll have first session of classes, which is for the West Zone, for Europe and the West America and others. And then we have a second session of classes, which is for East Zone. So that's all of Southeast Asia, so that students can attend a class conducive to their time zone. Also, every class does get recorded. So students will have an option of going back to the classes and looking at the recordings as well, just in case they missed out something. And then they're given assignments and they're given options where they have to cover and compete with others. They also have live chat boxes, and they have the faculty at, a contactable communication method is set up for them, wherein any queries are answered directly by the academics as well. So a lot of support is given in terms of online classes. What we're expecting is that even when the session starts, we will have to maintain social distancing. So lectures that we used to hold normally, where we would have about 100 students attending a lecture, we will not be able to do that in the future. So we'll have some students coming in for the lecture, the remaining will have to attend that through distance learning, while the second set of students come in and then these will have to learn through online classes. So all of that is currently being planned.
So basically, even if the lockdown opens, like the emergency and everything, like in UK, the lockdown opens, still the universities will not be able to operate at 100% attendance, right? Okay, so
That's what
how
we're planning, yes.
so how exactly will the post-study work visas be affected? Like again, because these things are actually not directly in the hand of the university, right? So they are actually governed by the authorities, the governments. Like if
Yes.
and the post-study work visas, like that was recently launched for UK as well, the 2-year post-study work visa. So how exactly will that be affected? Because most of these visas, they actually depend upon the course duration. Now, if a student is actually taking the online classes, this was actually one of the very repetitive question that we got from the students. Now, if let's say the first semester or the whole first year is actually moved on to the online classes, and then they from the second year they actually go on to the campus. So how exactly will it affect their post-study work visa granting?
So currently we are in talks with UKVI about it. So UKVI, we did question them that because of this situation, will the 2-year study stay back visa be cancelled, or are they still continuing with it? They have assured us that they are going ahead with the plan as per normal. So the 2-year visa will apply. They're just working on the intricacies of how it will be applied. Now, the current policy is that anybody completing their course, which is the full year degree course, when they complete it in September 2021 onwards, they will be eligible for that 2-year stay back visa. So they haven't really earmarked as to how much of the module can be taught in distance and how much has to be taught in the country. So we are still waiting for the policy. As soon as that comes through, we will be sharing it out.
Thanks, Devesh. So, Braj, the next question is for you. So, see, we do get that the students might be facing a lot of financial issues in this time, in these times. The reason being, they might not be able to arrange the funds that need to be paid for the even the fee deposits or so. Then securing loans is very difficult as of now. So how exactly are we addressing that? Like, is this university giving making some kind of financial plans for the students, or are some other kind of scholarships also being given? And so one of the question that was raised, it was actually an interesting question, like seeing the present situation. Obviously we'll have to live with this the coronavirus, the COVID-19 pandemic, and it like because as WHO also said, there is no solution that is being seen as in the short term, and in the next few months as well. So seeing that the whole lifestyle of a student will change, of course there will be some impact on the cost of living as well, right? So how exactly will they address that? Because again, they will not be able to work during the of course those kind of jobs that students actually did during their studies, that will also be affected. So how exactly will they cope up with the financial issues?
Yes, of course. So thank you for this. And but I feel that, if a student is coming to United Kingdom, as per United Kingdom Border Agency rule, the student have to show 1 year tuition fee and 1 year living expense in their bank account as a ready money that they have it.
Yeah.
But I know the fact that most of the international students, they are relying heavily on the part-time jobs, which they are allowed to do in United Kingdom during their study, like 20 hours per week part-time. They can do that, and they do that. And in fact, they support their living expense, sometimes their studies as well. So we understand this situation, and I'm sure that, with the situation which is right now developing in United Kingdom to control COVID-19, will surely be able to overcome within 3 to 4 months span. But as Anjana said, that we'll have to maintain some set of rules within us, so that we will be following social distancing. We will be more cautious in future. So we will have to go ahead with all of those things, and the jobs would be there. There is no company going to shut down in nearby cities, big cities where most of the universities are. So if industries are there, there would be jobs. If there are jobs, there are international students, those who can work part-time there. So definitely there would be, but yes, 3-4 months would be a little crucial for them. For these 3-4 months, almost all the university in UK, in fact, entire world, those which are taking good international students number, they are taking care of this, that the students should not get suffered in next 2-3 months, 4 months. After that, situation will come to normal. And now living with coronavirus is a normal. So yes, we will go ahead with the same situation. There would be jobs, and there would be the same level of jobs. In fact, I would like to quote here, like there was yesterday or day before yesterday, there was an announcement by Bank of England that this is the saddest phase which UK is facing right now after 1706. So the, the decrease in the economy growth is somewhere around 14% in United Kingdom, which is a sign of a problem, which is an economic crisis in United Kingdom, in fact, everywhere in this world. But again, the bright side of it is that they have again assured Bank of England that by next, next year, 2021 June, UK economy will definitely cover it up. So they will be bouncing back because they are getting a lot of funds. In fact, our finance minister in United Kingdom, they have generated good fund for the small scale industry so that they would not be locked down there. And the United Kingdom government, they have invested somewhere around 24 million pounds recently to help NHS staff to, they have also done some set of, um, some set of test on the patients, those who are currently, having coronavirus there. So those who are patients, the 9,000 patients are being undergoing the different treatments, and they are being administered the drug there. And we are trying to come up with a new vaccine, as Davis has also mentioned. So UK is doing all of these stuff so that a student's life would be as normal as it is. In terms of current students, we have also extended our deadline till June. The current students, those who had to pay the fee, but they are not getting that fee transferred from India to United Kingdom, they can wait till 21st of June to pay that. If needed, we will again extend that so that the students are not facing any problem. We already have scholarship, a lot of scholarship, almost all the universities are providing. In fact, there are many government scholarship, international scholarships. Along with that, we are also planning to move ahead, come up with some new scholarships as well, so that the students will not be facing a lot of issues in covering up with the entire situation. But yes, these 3-4 months are a little bit speculative, so we will have to be cautious, and we will have to be vigilant about the situation. And that's how we can plan. That's how students can plan.
Got it. So thanks, Braj. So we have the results for the next poll question with us. So the question was, if the universities are offering only online classes, what will be the impact on your study abroad plan? So as we all see, like only 24% of the students, they have said that they will be going ahead with online classes. So I think that is actually an issue for the universities. They will need to come up with a good plan to get the thing done. Okay, and again, because 75%, we cannot just lose on that. Okay, so Mahima, the next question is for you. So how exactly do you think the visa process will work? Like, see, again, the students might start their classes online, but even after that, they will have to, like, at some point of time, they are choosing to study abroad only for the thing that they are getting international exposure, right? And if they are not able to come to the campus, I don't think so that many students will go ahead with that. So how exactly do you think the visa process and the international travel is affected for that? And
So as of now, there are definitely, this is a crucial time. We have to wait and watch. Visas are not being granted right now. But then anyways, even if the intake start in September, students are in a normal circumstances also, they can apply only 3 months before the start of the programs. So that means they will start with the visa process only by June. So we will have a better clarity by that time. And hopefully, embassies will be operational, UKVI will be operational by that time, following the government regulations and maintaining social distancing. And visas will process, and then again, a lot depends how the situation evolves and when UK, India, and other countries open their international borders. Because based on that, they will have to start with the visa process. One thing for sure, whenever visas open, UK will be flooded with the applications, because there are definitely a lot of interest coming to UK, especially when government is showing all the intention to have this post-study visa for 2 years, and stay back option is there. So visa is going to work normal. They can definitely apply for their CAS when the universities will start to open their CAS, as in when the UKVI is operational and the embassy starts working and we are back to the new normal. So the visa processes work with as normal. They are required to show their details, like their finances in their bank account for at least for a month before they apply for their visa. So it's a good idea by May June, they should start maintaining their finances in the bank account, like first year tuition fee and their living expenses are required to be maintained there before they apply for the visas. There was a question asked by you about the finances, also something that I want to highlight here, that mostly universities in UK are offering a lot of flexibilities to students now. Like at York, we don't expect them to pay the full tuition fee altogether. Even when they join the university, they can pay the same in installment. Sorry about that. So they can pay the same in installment. They're not required to pay altogether, the entire full tuition fee altogether. So that definitely come as a big support to these students also, because they can pay in 3 different installments or 4 different installments. And there are a lot of scholarship being offered to the students. Even there are a lot of, there's a fund allocated for COVID support. So currently students who are there and who have been impacted, have they've lost their part-time jobs and things like that, there is support being offered to them as well by the universities. And coming back to now visas thing, I think it'll work normal. Once the visas open, they will have to apply like a regular process. And UK visa is the most simplest visa as compared to any other country. They're required to show their academic documents, their financials, and their medical documents. Of course, they may add to some more medical documents, because earlier they only used to ask for TB and X-ray, TB certificate and X-ray, chest X-ray. But now they may ask for some, additional documents given the COVID-19 situation. So we may have
so basically, like along with the other tests, the exams that you're giving, they will also have to appear for this Corona exam from now, right?
There's a possibility. There's a fair possibility, because if they're opening the international border, so they would want to see if the student, before they leave the country, they are negative, negative, they've been tested negative, and only then they're allowed to enter international border. I think that's going to be a new norm even for India. Anybody coming to India will have to get themselves tested and then come and cross the border. So that is something that they need to be ready for.
So thanks, Mahima. So the next question is Anjana. So over to you now. So basically, see, as we are seeing even the poll results and most of our interactions with the students they have said that they actually want to wait out on this. That they don't want to make any plans as of now. They don't even want to go ahead with the applications, or they don't want to make any kind of sudden plans, and they want to see how exactly the situation will evolve. So what exactly do you think, like how till what time, till what till June or till July should they wait and then make their further plans? Because there are students that we have come across, they're saying that okay, we might defer our plan if situation doesn't rectifies itself by July, and then they will go and opt an Indian institution for their studies. So what exactly do you think?
I think that's exactly I will request, because don't take decision considering current situation in mind. Just wait and watch, because as we all have spoken enough about it, the flexibility that we have introduced, the extension in deadline, we are currently accepting application without letter of recommendation. Your referee can email us and we will accept this. So, there are so many flexibility already, introduced, and if required, we will continue to follow this. Because I mean, for all of us, I think, our students, they are our number one priority, so I think that's an ideal, and if students are following this, I honestly, I'm very happy that please wait until July, because if you're starting in September, or maybe, few university, if we are starting in October, whatever the situation is like, just wait as much as you can. But as an student advisor, I would also say that, have your plan B ready, because that is equally important. We would not, want you to just get stuck, so if you want to make an application to Indian universities, and as we all know that, even Indian universities, they have extended their admissions deadline, and, they have extended their session somewhere in July and September. So just make sure that, you have your plan B ready, and with the minute, situation gets normal and we're progressing towards normal, confirm your place in the university. And whenever the visa centers are open, make your just make yourself prepared. It's the right time. I think just use this opportunity to upgrade your skill. And I think that's what we all are doing as an individual. We have enough time to sit at home and, and just take this as an opportunity, rather than, because there's nothing much that we can do about it. We all can just think positive during this uncertain time. And I'm sure things will get to new normal very soon. And once things goes back to normal, just apply for visa and come on campus. You know, and
Thanks.
just to add, sorry, just to
Yeah.
add, I think at any given point in time, I think as a university, we will never compromise on the quality of education. So please be assured that, you know, whatever process we follow, this will be, you know, no quality education, you know, will be compromised.
I just wanted to add there, you know, like she correctly said, you know, you need to make sure that your skills set is being, you are kind of making sure that you're using this time well and adding more skills. So if you're deciding to defer your offer only because it is an online education, so even in India, there's 7 universities who have been given permission to offer online programs. So which means online may be the new future. Even employers are going to now, when they go for jobs, employers are going to look at your online skill, like if required, how well you can work. And if maybe a lot of your companies may now come up where you can just work from home. Like recently TCS has announced that by 2025, 75% of their staff will be working from home. So that is going to be new normal in the coming time. So if students are talking about not going for an online program, I would suggest them to rethink about it, because if you are going to waste the entire time, you know, not because only it's an online, see, when this hit, the COVID-19 hit, we were caught off guard, and universities had to immediately come up with a plan where the physical classes were turned into virtual classes. Whereas now in the September intake or whenever the intake starts, universities are better prepared. So the curriculum is being designed accordingly, that if we have to deliver, whether it's online or whether it has to be delivered in a face-to-face classes, it has to be equally impactful. And the skill set that students get is equally good. So there is no compromises are going to be there now. Now we are better equipped to deliver whether it's online classes or face-to-face classes, and with social distancing in mind. So if you are planning to defer just because it's going to be online classes, then please be ready. It's going to be online working from home as well. Be ready for that as well.
Thanks, Mahima. So Devesh, so what do you think, like what should be the approach of a study abroad aspirant? Like in terms, like we also received some questions from them, like what do you think is the safest country to travel as of now? Like again, because they might again change the decision that, okay, should I even go to UK, or should I prefer US, or should I now go to Australia? Australia, like as we might have seen, the numbers in Australia were quite low, the cases. So what exactly do you think will be the impact on this in industry, as in the source, as in the destination, the study abroad destination for students?
Well, what I guide the students to do is that apply everywhere. So, you know, don't keep your options limited that I only have to go here. At least to every country, apply to 2 or 3 institutions. Once you apply and get the offer from them, start applying for scholarships as well. So that when it comes to your decision time, you have a whole basket to choose from, rather than just having, you know, 1 or 2 options that you have to go to. Now, with regards to selecting an option, UK, of course, is very, very strong. It is academically very bright. Plus, the advantage is that your degree of a master's is only 1 year. So, you know, you don't end up spending extra 1 year in terms of your living expense or your tuition fees, and you get a 2-year stay back after that as well. So definitely UK is a strong, you know, country to go and study. Apart from that, what you also do is look at the university you're going to as an international student. When you travel, you have to see how well it is integrated with the industry. Because if you want to make a future for yourself, you have to see that what kind of university gives you more industry integration. Because the more time you spend with the industry alongside your course, the better chances you have of getting into a good job, and then also getting a good, you know, stay back option. So if you want to plan a good life, you have to go through all of this research. And the good thing is that you have time now. So you're sitting at home, you know, you have the internet, have a look, contact the universities, start asking them, can I speak to your alumni, or can I speak to your current students? Get their feedback as to how they've been integrated or supported in terms of getting the, you know, integration into the industry. One example that I can give you, like, for example, in University of Bristol, what we're doing is that we're seeing that COVID situation has happened, because of which a lot of local businesses are getting impacted. The university has taken out £100,000 as a fund, which is going to give it to the local MSME and local businesses to run 100 internships for our students. Now, what they'll have to do is they'll have to use this money to pay the students for the internship that they're going to be doing with them. Now, this way, it's a win-win for both. We are supporting the local businesses as well, wherein they get the expertise of the students. But at the same time, the students also get paid for.
Devesh, I think
He
Devesh
got
got
disconnected.
disconnected.
Yeah.
Okay, so so let's we'll continue when he's back. Okay, so Braj, so the next question that is actually a very important one that has been raised many times by the students. So what exactly do you think will be the scenario after their study abroad program is completed? Basically, how will the job scenario look? How exactly will they be able to repay their loans? Will they be able to repay like the tuition fees? Will they be able to support themselves? How exactly will be because see job situation has been critically affected even in India and globally. So what exactly do you think, like should they keep that thing in mind when they are now choosing making a decision to study abroad?
Yes, so I would divide this question in two parts here. First is getting a job in wherever they are studying, may that be United States or UK or maybe for that instance, Myanmar. And another part would be taking loan and repaying that loan. So first thing is whether they would be getting employed in that particular country or not. So in terms of United Kingdom, UK government has introduced bounce back loan scheme. And this bounce back loan scheme is only for the small scale industries. Now, these small scale industries are the one who are giving the maximum job to the international students, not a very big industry, because big industries required somebody who is a very big working professional, wherein 95% of the Indian students, those who are going to study abroad anywhere in this world, they are mostly freshers and working with small industries at part-time jobs as well as in full-time jobs to the larger extent. So these are getting the facility under this loan scheme in United Kingdom in particular. Moreover, government has also released a lot of fund, and there are a lot of funding happening locally. Like for an instance, in Wolverhampton, it's a small city near to Birmingham. We are just near 15 minutes to Birmingham. So in this small city of Wolverhampton, we have a Sikh temple there. They have donated £50,000, and they have donated this £50,000 is to survive the local, local shops there and local industries, home-based industries which are running in Wolverhampton, and they are doing it. In fact, a lot of fund has been raised by the university as well. So job scenario will definitely be bounced back, and it is getting hampered everywhere. May that be United States. In fact, I'll tell you in USA, there are more than 7 lakhs people have filed their unemployability. Same thing has happened in United Kingdom. 24% is the decrease in the rise in the unemployability in United Kingdom. Same thing is happening in India as well. So these 3-4 months is not the time to get panic. These 3-4 months are to prepare yourself for the better world tomorrow. Like the environment is healing. I was hearing, Koyal speaking in some of your background. The environment is healing. We can see that live example is here. I don't know what do we call Koyal in English. But yes, in the same way, we will have to also heal ourselves. There are a lot of online classes running, like free online classes are there. There are multiple of paid online classes. Take help of those, study those modules, prepare yourself. You are not going to a local class in India right now. Students in United Kingdom, they are still studying. They are in the class. Right now, their classes are running at this time. Their classes are running. 97% is the attendance level in University of Wolverhampton online classes. Now, when you are going to join them in September, or maybe, God forbid, October, we are running October intake. Maybe in January, you will have to compete with them. Are you prepared? Are you doing some preparation? So it should not be the case that last 3 months I was out of touch and I'm not in form and I'm failing here. We are the one, Indians are the one, and sometime I've also seen some Pakistani as well, that they are the one who are mostly the topper in the class. So how topper behave, we will have to behave in the same way. These 3 months, 4 months, maybe 5 months, prepare yourself, take the best advantage of this time when you are sitting idle, do Facebook, do Insta, listen to us. And in these, these panel discussions which are happening, like today it is happening with you, I'm thankful to you, Amarjot, and other platforms also, these are happening. So stay tuned with these things. Take the best. Which you don't like, don't take that. Online classes, you don't like online classes, okay, not to worry. Be focused on your studies. Maybe we'll be running on campus. In fact, we are running on campus classes. These online classes we are talking about, we are just keeping the backup plan B or plan C or plan D, whatever we call it. So we are going with the pace, how the world is changing, how the economy is changing, our university is also changing. So this was about employment. Now I'll talk about the loan. 80% of Indian students are taking loan to study in abroad. And the worst part, which I wanted to raise through your platform today, Amarjot, is that the government is giving moratorium period for the existing students, those who have taken education loan, but that moratorium period is only 3 months only, first. Second, it is only applied to the government institutions, where most of the students these days, those who are going to USA and other, where the collateral loan is not required, they are taking from private institutions. These private institutions are not giving moratorium, period 3 months or not even a single month to the students. Students are facing problem. They are not earning. They completed their study, came back to India, or they may be, working there in USA or UK right now. They are not earning right now, so they may not be able to pay their, moratorium right now, the premium of the education loan. So I think the government, Indian government, will have to look at this aspect as well, that how to regulate the moratorium period, which they have already ordered for private institutions. There are many of the private institutes that are providing education loan to the students. And in fact, there was some talk on the, recently I was hearing that there are some talks right now happening with RBI, which they are going to issue some guidelines specifically for education loan. So I hope that these things will be taken care of slowly, and so slowly everything would be normal. And as everybody is saying that this is now normal. So yes, I hope this answers.
Thanks, Braj. So Devesh, over to you now, just for the ending notes. I think we have already completed the time that was allocated, and so Devesh, anything that you want to say at the end?
So just to the students that treat it as a normal year, just go ahead, and what we're guiding everyone to do is, go ahead with your applications. The good thing also about the UK is that we don't need you to have your final degree to apply to the university. So whatever documents you have, all your mark sheets, apply with that. If you haven't taken your English test, apply without it. You will get a date by which you have to submit the results. Once you get your offer from us, usually it takes about 4 to 5 weeks, so it could be sooner. Start applying to all the scholarships you're eligible for. The more you apply for, the better chances you have. And at most times, you also don't have restrictions that you can only get one. You can also get multiple scholarships. Now, we are, of course, more focused on your well-being if you're coming to us. We are monitoring the situation. We also don't want you to start off with online classes, because for us to come to the university, get the whole experience of meeting other students, meeting our faculty, we are also waiting to welcome you there. But just in case we have to go with online classes or we defer the entrance, all of the options will be given to the students. So don't feel that you will be, pushed into something that you don't want to do. The UK universities will give you all the options, and it will be your choice whether to defer your intake or also to take a withdrawal. It's not necessary that if you've enrolled with us that you have to come and join us. You can either defer it to the next year or also request a refund of your deposit, and that will be processed for you. So just start planning. Don't lose out this year. In terms of the economy, I have been reading a lot of reports, and the very good thing is that, with regards to COVID, it's not a normal situation. It's not like a recession that has happened. The only thing is that offices are closed, and that's why the economy is getting hit, because work is disrupted. But the governments have kept money that they were supposed to be spending for oil. Every country buys oil, and that's one of the highest spends. And all of that money that is being saved is going to be put back into the economy to revive the economy once everything comes back to normal. So the good thing for you is also that when you come into the education in this year, you'll be spending the time in educating and gaining new skills. And by the time you graduate and come out into the workforce, the economy will be back up and running. So again, it will be very good opportunities for you. So at this time, just focus on empowering yourself with great knowledge, with good skills, so that you make a very good future for yourselves.
So thanks, Devesh, and thanks to all the viewers and all panelists to take out their valuable time and be a part of the webinar. And to all the students, I hope that we were successful at answering the questions that were raised by you, and we'll be back soon with many more webinars in the series. And thank you all. Stay safe.
Thank you, Amar,
Thank you,
for
Amar.
inviting us.
Thank you,
Thank you, everyone. Bye.